In this video, I'll be taking you through a time-lapse replay in approximately 5 minutes of my rainbow mermaid. Now, this particular mermaid is part of the larger piece, Mystical Wonderland, which is a 3,000 piece puzzle, which is approximately 4 feet by 3 feet in size. And when I'm working at this scale, I need to create everything in a very high resolution, which is why I decided to paint the mermaid completely separately. So she is in a file document that's approximately 11 inches by 14 inches. I'm working on an iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil and using Procreate. Early on, I start with a very loose sketch to get the gesture. And I'm actually going to pause the drawing right here to talk a little bit more about this stage. So I keep it very loose. I keep it very sketchy. I'm looking for very sinuous forms. I like curves and organic forms. I'm heavily influenced by Art Nouveau, especially when I'm doing a piece like this. So I try to make everything as S-shaped as possible, from the curves of her hair to the curves of her fin. With this particular mermaid, I started out thinking that she was going to be green as her primary color, but then as time went on, I decided to alter that and bring in the rainbow form. And pausing the drawing right here, I'd like to point out that even in this early stage, there is a sense of light and dark. You could tell that the light source is coming from above to the right, that it's hitting her face, and then the curve of her fin. It was important to me that the face was the brightest part of this image because it is so colorful, because there is a lot going on. I wanted to make sure there was still emphasis on her face. And here I am adding that detail. And at this point, she's become rainbow. The heart on her tail was drawn by my 5-year-old daughter, and then I kept it and just refined it a little bit for the final piece. When I first started drawing, I loved working in pastels, and I think a lot of the same logic translated into how I approach digital color, in that I will just be constantly layering colors over colors until I get the effect I want. Here I am drawing the scales, each one individually, whether it be a mermaid or a dragon. And oh, here's her little friend. Hippogriff, technically? Is that? I have to look up the name for a sea unicorn. Oh, I never did give her a horn. Seahorse. Hippogriff. I'm pretty sure that's a hippogriff. Hippocampus? Oh, maybe it's the hippocampus. Yeah, that sounds right. Adding some more highlight and shadow onto each and every one of those scales. Note that I layer the magenta of the harp and the little seahorse's tail over her body that is primarily that cool blue-green, and that adds a bit more depth and dimension. Also note, as I'm doing this very simple background, I choose to have the brightest blue directly behind her body, drawing emphasis up to her face. And yet, just behind her head, I have it just like a slight bit darker, which increases the contrast, thus further enhancing your focal point onto her face. And there we have our rainbow mermaid.